Hello, guys. I'd like to start with saying good afternoon. Thank you for coming to the Student Concern Forum. My name is Carlos Torres. I am currently your Student Government Association president. I appreciate y'all's participation. Seems like y'all are very committed to being here. Maybe y'all have some concerns. Students appreciate that. Now, we also have some of our faculty present. And I'd like to start by naming them. We have the president of the college, Dr. Beth Lewis, at the very end. We also have Vice President of Student Services, Dr. Vicki Stanfield. We have a Vice President of Instruction, Dr. Pam Millsap. We also have Vice President of Institutional Advancement, Marianne Amelang. We also have Vice President of Fiscal Affairs, Dr. Glenn Burton, right here. Dr. Chris Kimbark could not be here with us today, so if she's on her way, okay, well, I'll announce who she is at a later moment. We also have Vice President of Enrollment and Registration, Kelly Musick. Sorry, excuse me. I apologize for that. Executive Director of Human Resources, Angela Dampier. Director of Student Fiscal Services, Carl Gordon. Let's see here. Well. Okay, she's here. Dean of Workforce and Continuing Education, Dr. Carla Moon. Dean of Academic Programs, Dr. Steve Soul. And Chief Information Officer, Jim Tanglerini. Did I say that right? We also have Academic Advisor, Kristen Hatfield. Director of Facilities, Charles King. The one that keeps you safe, Chief of Police, Officer Silvio Chapa. And we just, Dr. Chris Kimbark, she just got here, so she's here as well. Well, I'd like to start off with saying to administration, we really appreciate y'all's time that y'all took out of your schedule to be here with us today. And at this time, we can go ahead and open the floor for any questions that the students may have regarding personal concerns. And if you don't have, if you do not want to say it out loud, we also have a suggestion box that we can ask for you and follow up through that. So at this time, I'd like to open the floor. We have mics are going around, and we'll go ahead and come to you with a mic so you can ask your question. So at this time, the floor is open for questions. Yes, ma'am, lady right here in the blue. We'll get you a mic so everyone can. Hey, she can project.
Hello. Yeah, I was wondering, how come the trees are being knocked down in the front? I was just, it seemed kind of out of the blue, and the trees looked fine. I was just wondering why.
The trees actually belong to the city of Texas City.
Oh, okay.
They're not our trees.
Okay.
What's happening is that particular kind of tree, the root system gets very, very thick, and those trees have been there for 30 years. The root systems, that's why the road is buckling, and that's why the sewer pipes throughout there are in bad shape. So to fix the road and to replace the sewer pipes, they have to remove the trees. It's not our property. It belongs to Texas City, the city of Texas City, and after they're finished, they are going to come back and put in shrubbery across there so it won't just be the blank grass. Okay?
Next.
Good afternoon, my name is Mike Powell, I'm a veteran here. I'm wondering, would it be possible to get a full-time advisor in the Veterans Office? Simply for reasons like the rest of the students can go to their advisor, it's a one-stop shop. With us, we have to go to Mr. Camacho, or if we have to go to the other advisor, then we have to turn around and go right back to Mr. Camacho. Would it be possible to help us by a full-time advisor?
What we can do, I think that what we can do is we can try to find another part-time advisor in the interim. Getting another full-time position is a little bit more complicated. However, if we need coverage in that area, we can make some real strong attempts to hire another advisor. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. I appreciate it. We're very, very, very concerned, and we want to serve our veterans well. Thank you.
Thank you for that question, sir. Any other questions? Ladies, gentlemen?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering, a lot of the professors that have been here for a while are suddenly leaving, and a lot of from the science department, such as Professor Orr and Keish Molina, they've been here for a while, but they suddenly just are gone. Now there's not too many choices, and yeah, I was just kind of concerned why that is.
Dr. Millsap?
Hey, we will be refilling those positions, so we will be, fully staffed with regard to biology, and I believe we do have a faculty member now filling in for some of that, and some of that's just the natural life cycle of faculty. And, I actually believe that in any department, it's great to have a balance of those who have been there a long time and know kind of the ups and downs and the history of the institution, and also have brand new faculty who are, coming in there real energetic with new ideas. It's great to have that blend. I know that Dr. Keish Molina and Mr. Orr are very well liked by students, and so I know that, we'll miss them in that way because I know students have liked them very well. But, we will stay committed to quality instruction, and we'll be filling those positions with excellent candidates. So.
Thank you. Any further questions? That's what we're here for, guys.
Well, I have a question for the crowd. What are we doing right here at the College of the Mainland? Okay, please.
I was going to say, I actually overall really like the campus. I like the fact that there's ducks everywhere. The geese are a little scary, but I think they add personality. Generally speaking, I haven't had a teacher that I've hated. I've had teachers that I'm neutral towards, but most of them I've actually actively liked. And I like how cheap it is to apply here. And overall, I was coming in here, I'm like, oh, do I have any questions? I was like, the trees at the front are a little worrying, I guess. But I don't know, I'm pretty happy. So, I can't think of any complaints, but I had another question, I just can't remember it right now.
What are you majoring in?
I'm just doing general. I'm trying to figure things out. That's why it's nice that it's cheap, because since I don't really know what I'm doing, I don't really have the money to afford to go into a major if I don't even know what I'm going to major in. So.
Could I also follow up and just ask you if you have an advisor and if you're working with an advisor to help you discover what it is you might want to do?
Well, I know I'm going into something involving arts, but it's arts. So, I think general studies would be good to at least have under my belt for if I were to want to do something else.
I would encourage you, if you don't have an advisor, to definitely go to our Student Success Center and make an appointment to see one of the advisors or walk in. They have walk-ins as well, and it's a really great opportunity for you to really learn more about what opportunities and resources we have on campus to help you to discover. And I know you say you want to do something in the arts, but they are also able to help you with getting a little bit more focused if that's what you need. And so I'd really encourage you to do that. Are you working with an advisor?
I've talked to an advisor a bit, but I mean,
Well, you can always take advantage of that service. It's there for you.
also I want to give a shout out to Chappa for taking good care of the ducks
Yes.
because it makes me really happy, and I'm glad that people are taking care of them. Makes me real happy. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for that great remark. I see we have some new students here. We began with asking if y'all had any concerns, comments to the administration. Yeah, let's get you a mic.
Is the pool ever going to be reopened?
No.
Why?
It cost about $2 million to just do basic repairs, and then we'll have a 43-year-old brand-new pool. That $2 million can be better served for classroom space, for better biology labs, for the kinds of programs that will enhance your ability to get a job. The money is better spent in classroom space than it is in a swimming pool.
Taj, you'd like to let her know we just purchased those treadmills. Yeah.
We just purchased all new cardio. Really? So our cardio was approximately, we have nine treadmills. So we had 6 of the treadmills that were 5 years or older, and then we had the other 4 that were for sure 4 years older. So what we've done is we've traded those in, and we've purchased the 2015 treadmills and ellipticals.
All right, so I'd only seen the spin machines in there, so I guess I was looking in the wrong area.
Yeah, the spin bikes are on the east side of the facility. If you go on the opposite side, on the southwest side, all of our cardio is located in that room.
Okay, thank you. I just thought you didn't have them.
No, just stop by the front desk, and we'll definitely have a gym attendant, potentially Alan or Gibbon, and there's a whole staff there that could show you around so that you get all the areas covered. Because again, it's the way the layout of the building is kind of chopped up. It's not in an open concept. So, all right.
We did have an anonymous question. It says, Campus Carry is coming to community colleges. What are we doing to prepare? Can possibly Chief Chapa or anyone in the administration answer that?
It's not going to affect us. The new law will not affect us until, what was it, August 2017? But open carry will not be allowed on the campus. It would be concealed carry once we get there. But we're waiting to see what happens with other universities and colleges where it has taken effect this January? This August, so.
Later this semester, and certainly the first part of the fall semester, we'll be having town hall meetings where students will be invited to give their ideas about which buildings and which areas it makes sense to be declared gun-free. We can't exclude the entire campus, and we have to have a logical reason to have that area off-limit to people with weapons. So that'll be happening later this semester, first part of the fall. We'll bring that together.
Thank you. I guess I can ask a question, right? Since, depends, right? We see ourselves, in my eyes, I've heard this, we are a Hispanic serving institution, correct? Okay. My concern is, for say, when we say that, my understanding would be, well, let's have some information in possibly the second language, which would be Spanish, correct? Now, me walking around the ESL program, for example, if I were to want to enroll in an ESL program, perhaps I don't know the English language yet. What is being done about that? Because I see pamphlets that are written in English about all the information that you need to enroll in the program, but they're in English. And I mean, I can translate it. I mean, there's great translators here that can do that. However, I don't see that being done. What can be done about that?
It's kind of a competent, we're both trying, who needs to speak on this? We both can.
Yeah, Dr. Stanfield and I were just kind of debating because we both kind of have pieces of that we feel like we definitely want to respond to the kind of concerns you're raising. And one of the things y'all may or may not be aware, I'm going to have Dr. Stanfield talk about it because she's directing it. So part of that is our Title V grant. Dr. Stanfield, do you want to?
Sure. We're really excited. We're just one of very few colleges that were awarded this Title V grant, and it is to enhance our institution for all students. The students that we track as far as performance and looking at how they succeed, first-time, full-time students are our cohort that we measure, but that's one of the measurements we give to the Department of Education. But broader than that, all of the activities that we're doing as far as Title V support all students. And we do have resources in the grant. We talked about doing some interpreting of various documents, and so that's part of what our grant is going to be looking at. What would be the best way to go about that, and how do we make that a practice on this campus that isn't necessarily just about the grant? I'm glad you brought up the grant. Now, does that answer your question regarding interpreting? Because it is part of what...
Well, I mean, yes, it answers it. However, I mean, I guess right now, what would be done about that? Because people do come to get information.
Right.
I'm just not.
Yeah, you mean right now, because part of what Dr. Stanfield is referring to, we did put in that grant, and the title of the grant, by the way, is El Camino Claro, because we want a clear pathway for all students. But we did put in there the need to translate key documents into Spanish. And also, where ESL is located, actually on that entire third floor, there are various people. I mean, this is not our long-term plan. Right now, what is happening is we do have folks who are bilingual, and that's how it tends to happen up there, and they have them in adult basic ed as well. But the long-term strategy is to do more translation of documents and to find out other ways. There are many other things in this grant that will serve, as she said, all students, but some of which are particularly targeted at the Hispanic population. So it kind of goes beyond the translation. But
I'd like to add just one more thing. On April 28th, I don't know whether that's a Tuesday or a Thursday right now, but you'll be seeing a lot more about this, and many of you will be contacted directly. A lot of our student leaders and all of our campus will be invited. We're going to have a Title V kickoff, and it's going to be a celebration and really an opportunity to share with the campus what activities we are already putting into place, and to introduce the staff and talk more about Title V and what that means. And so it will be at College Hour. It will be in this room. And you'll be hearing more about that as well. So we're really excited about it. A lot is happening behind the scenes already in the various departments that are really responsible for implementing all of the various initiatives that we have written into the grant. And the grant, I just hired a coordinator that started just on Monday. Her name is Deborah Frige, and we will have a website, and we will have the grant there at the website. We have a page already, but we don't have all of that information there. So you'll be seeing more about Title V in a big way.
Thank you.
If I could also add to that, an excellent point that you made regarding the ESL flyer itself. And I will speak to our director of adult basic education at ESL about the flyer specifically to see if we can get that translated pretty quickly. Excellent point.
Thank you.
Could I? Hi, I'm Mary Ann. I'm over the marketing department as well, and we've been talking a lot about making sure that certain key documents are translated. Unfortunately, that means you have to do a whole different, design as well as printing. So we are going to be requesting some money in the budget next year to do that, unless Title V can pay for it, which would be nice. But yeah, we actually do have some that are already translated, but we really want to, and Carlos, it'd be great to have student input as well as maybe talk with the ESL department about what it is that we need to start with first and make sure that we get those key documents done this semester if possible.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am. I appreciate that.
Yes.
We have any other further questions? I saw someone raise their hand back there. Well, I mean, one of my great appreciations for the college, if I can make a comment on that, is I appreciate the math, science, reading and writing labs. I know they do an amazing job at helping students with something that they need to work on, and I've heard a lot of great comments about those departments saying, "Hey, they're doing a great job, and they're expanding in what they can." So, just a positive thing. That's something that we're doing great at. So, any comments? Positive comments? Would administration like to make any comments?
Could I make an announcement?
Absolutely.
The COM Foundation gives out 200 scholarships a year to both summer and fall, spring. Scholarships are open right now. It's on the website. It's simple, very simple online application. It's now, our application is now working with our, what would you call it, our DataTel student information system. So if you have a student number, the minute you put it in, almost half the application populates with your address, your name, your major, blah, 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 and then automatically matches you with scholarships, so you don't have to scroll through and look at scholarships that you're interested in. It'll just automatically match you with whatever you're qualified for. So it's a very simple process. It's up to $500 per semester. We even have some that are a little bit more than that. So please apply today. Yes.
The deadline is Monday, March 21st for the summer, so you need to start taking care of your business over spring break and get that taken care of. Deadline is Monday, March 21st.
Right. Now the fall and spring scholarships will be open until, we have several different deadlines, some for high school students that want to make their annual awards banquet. That's more like in April, May, probably April. But the rest of them stay open until mid-July for fall and spring. But you're right, the summer ones we have to get going pretty quick because the payment deadlines are coming up for summer scholarship, for summer bills, tuition stuff.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Mr. Shi?
Actually, I would have paid, thank you. Actually, I'd like to pay a compliment to the nursing department. I unfortunately had an incident just recently where I stayed 2 days in the hospital because I broke 3 fingers on my left hand. And I was nursed by 2 graduates from College of the Mainland. And they recognized me. They had been graduates for the past 5 years ago. So they were wonderful. They were very attentive, very caring, but it wasn't just to me. They were with everyone else in that floor. It was the 7th floor at John Seeley. And I just wanted to pay my compliments because they're representing College of the Mainland. They were very proud to say graduates of College of the Mainland. And it was just wonderful because I felt good. I knew I was in good hands. And they made my experience, my horrible experience, a wonderful one. So if I have to go again, I hope I run into them again because it was wonderful. So thank you for putting out some great talent out there because they're serving College of the Mainland very, very well. They speak highly of the course. So thank you.
Thanks for that feedback. We'll pass that on to the nursing department. Thank you.
Any questions back there? Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have a question for, if a club wants to put on an event that involves selling handmade food, can they do that?
Like bake sale?
Tosh, you want to answer that? You can probably answer it better than I
Yes.
can.
A lot of the clubs, I'm sure they don't always go to Walmart, Kroger to purchase the cookies or the cakes or whatever they're selling. So I'm sure a lot of them are, you know, doing it in-house and bringing it in their Ziploc bags to sell. So yes. But the process is to fill out, that club organization has to fill out a fundraiser application, get that in, and then if there's any red flags or concerns for me, I'm definitely going to ask those questions, you know. But yes, clubs do in-house baking for sales.
Thank you, Tosh.
Sure you can. Just sell it for 3 times what you bought it for. Yes, you can go to a store. It doesn't have to be. If I was doing the fundraiser, I would probably buy it at the store, bag it, and bring it.
Smart. Appreciate that.
Does that answer? Thank you.
We did have an anonymous question as well. The question to the board is, if the college does receive the bond, what are the students' place in all of the process?
Well, there are a lot of things that have to happen between now and November when the bond goes for an election in front of the voters. If it is successful and the voters do say, yes, we would like to increase our taxes to pay for the things that you want, at that point, then we would have input meetings from students, from faculty, from different stakeholders to say these are the kinds of things that we would like to have. We are so far at the beginning of this process right now that the only thing that we are putting together right now is a notebook that is about 7 inches thick that tells me every brick that's broken on campus, every cracked sidewalk, all of the things that we have to spend about $14 million on to bring up to just be safe. And then we get to start looking at, wouldn't it be great to have this new facility? Wouldn't it be great to have this new area? So that's what we've been spending our time on so far, is looking at a facilities assessment. What do we have right now? What do we need? Blended with that are the student demographics. Where are students coming from? What areas do they live in? What are they majoring in? Are they staying here to finish, or are they going somewhere else? And if they go somewhere else, at how many hours do they go somewhere else? So it's a lot of that background kind of stuff. I can guarantee nobody's drawing floor plans right now. Nobody's looking at carpet samples. All of that would happen a year from now if the bond passes. Okay? Did that answer your question, Carlos?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Did we have another question back there?
I was just wondering, there was some construction going on that was near like the math area. I don't remember the name of the room, but what was that? I was wondering.
You may be referring to our hot water leak during the wintertime.
Because there was like some dug up ground and like there was like the orange things.
We've had some underground pipe leaks that had to be repaired. That's going to be filled in over spring break.
Okay.
Well, he's done now, so it's all right.
I got mine too late as well.
Okay.
I think
Yes,
so.
everybody heard you.
And just to say, that was the heat was down when that piece of pipe was broken, and so getting it replaced, and that's one of the things the bond will look at is renewing that infrastructure for the campus.
Okay.
And if I could add one more, just a comment
Absolutely.
about the student's voice in our master planning process. On the 29th, I think it was Monday last week, it seems like time is going so quickly, I don't remember which week it was, but we had 2 focus groups of students that did meet with our master planning consulting firm, PBK, and this was an opportunity for students to express what they like about the college, what they think we need, what are the major, what, if you could have your wish list, what would it look like, that kind of thing. So they were really at that high level about thinking about the vision of what we're trying to do, but as Dr. Lewis said, we weren't picking out paint samples or placing where things were going to be, but it really gave students an opportunity, and we had a real broad spectrum of students. We had workforce students and credit students, and we had SGA officers, we had club representation. I mean, there was just a wide variety of students.
All the departments on campus, so the nursing, process technology, like Dr. Stanfield said, the CD workforce, machinists, HVAC. So we really try to get all the students that represent, so it's really a diverse panel of students.
Thank you, Dr. Snyder. Do you have any further questions in the audience?
There's one. There's one.
We have one up there.
So since this is a two-year university,
Your college.
since this is a two-year university school, how do we go about transferring to another school? Exactly.
Well, that is a very, very easy process if you're working with your advisor. Do you have an advisor on campus?
I have Ms. Bankston, but I don't really meet with her as often as I probably should.
Okay, well then, you know what? You can call her at any time, and that's your responsibility. So if you're really interested in transferring, it really is something for you to talk with your advisor about, because that person is going to really be able to guide you and to help you. And we have a student planning module now that's in our system. And is this going to be for all students right now, or just first-time in college students? Okay. It's going to give you a lot of information just right at your cell phone or your electronic device or on your computer. So what I would do is advise you to speak with your advisor and do it before registration starts. Right now is a really good time to make appointments. And if you're wanting to talk about transfer, then ask those questions. Every advisor is really trained to work with students that are transferring. So any of you that are thinking of transferring, and of course I'm sure many of you are, that you do need to work with your advisor. They can save you a lot of time, a lot of mistakes. That's really what the whole relationship is about. Does that help? Okay.
And I would just like to encourage all students that do plan to transfer to not wait till your last semester to think about where you might want to transfer to, because the earlier you decide that, the more you can make sure that how you use your elective hours and that kind of thing will count towards your degree plan at the university you transfer to. And that's something else your advisor will help you with. And so, do be thinking about that. We want you to get your associate's degree, finish that up, and then transfer and have all those credits count toward your degree plan. So work with your advisor on that.
I'd also like to add one point. I'm going to put Kristen Hatfield on the spot because we're really pushing to have students register early. You get the best spots in the classes that you want. So Kristen, if you could talk just a second about our push for early registration.
Okay, like Dr. Stanfield just announced, we have a new tool for students called Student Planning. This tool is going to allow you to, unlike WebAdvisor, it's going to allow you to pre-plan your classes. So, as of now, the summer schedule's in, you can come meet with your advisor and you can pre-plan now. So on April 5th, you don't have to stand in the long line, the 45-minute to an hour, to see an advisor to register. All you'll have to do is log in and click register now. Hopefully there's no kinks and it all works beautifully and you're able to register. If you do have problems, you still can come see your advisor. Also, we are going to be having a student planning workshop to teach you guys how to use student planning. That will be on March 24th. From 12:30 to 1:30 in the TVB 1476. You do not have to stay the full hour. We also have created YouTube videos for you guys to watch. They'll be posted to our Student Success Center page shortly. They're very helpful. They're only about 2 minutes long, and they kind of show you how to use the tool. If you have any questions about student planning, I highly encourage you to come and meet with your advisor. We're also going to have some pop-up, I don't want to say sessions, but we'll have TV monitors and the videos rolling throughout when we get back from spring break. They'll be scattered throughout the campus on that Monday and Tuesday when we get back. So please come see us or attend one of the trainings so we can help you with student planning. It will really help prepare you, keep you organized and on track to graduate in time. Okay?
Sounds great. Thank you. I believe you had a question right here, gentleman. Yes, sir.
I just have one concern. Like the original employees that were like at lab departments and stuff like that, they are relocated each semester. Like, why? It's just my concern. Like, I don't hate the new people like that work at the lab departments, but like, why are they like being relocated?
Are you speaking about the instructional labs, like innovations?
Yes.
And the okay. Yeah, Janice Katea is not here. She directs that area. They're rotated for various reasons. One is that to the extent possible, we want all the lab managers to be familiar with all the different kinds of software and other kinds of programs and products that are, present in each lab. That way, they can substitute for one another and that kind of thing. And sometimes there's just one reason or another. Somebody might be more familiar with this particular product than another, or really like working, with a particular department that tends to use that lab a lot or whatever. And so there are various reasons, but it really just has to do with trying to use our folks as effectively as we can. So, but of course, you can always visit them in the other lab if you miss seeing them. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Great. Is there any further comments from the audience? Any?
I have a question. So whenever you see an injured duck, who do you go to that knows that the duck has been injured? Because I feed them like at least once a week since I've been here last semester, and I've seen like 3 ducks who are limping or can't move a leg. I've seen 2 others dead. In the campus, not on the road, like on the main road. So I'm just wondering, like, where do you go to when you see them injured or they can't move?
You can contact the police department. And I also encourage you, anybody in here, to program the police department's number into your phone in the event that you need us. Contact the department, and if they don't know what to do at the time, they contact me and I take care of it. I will assess the animal to see if it's best recovery on its own so we don't, traumatize it anymore. Sometimes if their limp is not too bad, they will heal on their own. If they're immobile, then I will take care of it. I'll take them home for rehabilitation, bring them back. And also too, if you see anybody harming the animals or anything like that, please let us know. Animal cruelty is a crime. All right? So contact the police department. Program our phone numbers into your cell phone.
Tell them what it is.
What's your number?
409.
While she's getting her pen, I have a question. I've seen some geese looking like they're freaking killing each other out there, and they're fighting. I mean, they have one that they had about one of the bigger geese had the other goose by the neck, and just was, it was. Is that normal, or could I try to break it up?
It's a dating ritual.
It's a dating ritual. Okay. I'm very naive, I'm sorry.
But it's not acceptable behavior for campus dating, okay? Just ducks.
Yeah, this, let's keep it student concern for them.
Also, to Angela Dampier, when you remind you, don't try to break it up because they can be powerful, and it's just nature. They know what they're doing.
Great.
The phone number is 409-933
Well, great.
If you need help with the ducks, just let the police department know.
Well, is there any last comments from our administration? No? Well, any last comments
Appreciate you
from?
coming as we headed to spring break. I hope everybody's safe and has a great break.
All right, well, at this time, I'd like to conclude our yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
I just want to remind those of you that are on financial aid and those of you that are not on financial aid, apply for financial aid. Summer applications will be available Monday, March 21st, and the deadline will be May 1st. So if you have not applied for financial aid this year, do your FAFSA and then come see us for the financial aid application for summer terms, okay? They will be available Monday when we come back.
And Sandra, is the department also able to help someone that has difficulty completing the FAFSA? Would that be something that you help students with?
No, that's the Student Help Center.
The Student Help Center.
But they'll come get us. If they can't solve the issue, they'll come get one of us in our office. And
So
we do
there is
assist them.
assistance in the Student Help Center,
Yes.
in the Enrollment Center. Do you want to?
Oh, I'm sorry. If you have, you need assistance getting documents from the IRS, the Help Center can contact you, help you contact that office, and we also have an email that we can send to the IRS to get any documents that you need. We're not in charge of the time frame for which you will receive the documents, but we will connect you with that office.
Thank you. Any last remarks? I guess we got some more questions. Yes, sir. Let's get a mic on you.
Are there no like organized lists for all the clubs on campus? Because it seems very informal to me. I've seen bulletins here and there.
You just go to the Student Life webpage. So if you go under Current Student, the bottom of that page, it says Student Life. Click on there, clubs and orgs. They're all listed.
They have all their contact information.
Contact information. The Student Life office is in the Student Center right across from the restroom. If you go in there, in that door, Samuel Parada, Alan, Gibbon, sometimes Andy, there's students there. You just ask the question. But if you want to look on it via internet, go to Current Student, bottom of the page, it's a tab for Student Life. Click on there, it'll list clubs and orgs.
Okay.
And there's about 5 or 6 organizations and about 24 recognized clubs at this time.
Yep.
So there's a lot of engagement opportunities there.
If you have any further questions, we can definitely connect you.
Thank you.
It will also be on the COM app very shortly.
Yep, very good.
So download the app if you don't have it already.
Hey, it's already on there. There you go. Any last question? We have one way up there. Alan, run.
This is about the math course of 0308. I mean, we have like workshops for 310 and 320, but we don't have a workshop for course 308. Is there any way we can have like a workshop for 308?
That's definitely a doable thing. I'll talk to the math faculty about that. And you're right, Math 0308 is a much newer course. We offered it for the first time last year. How are you liking it? You need that workshop? Yeah. Well,
yeah,
and that's
it's
the
all right.
thing with math. We know that it's so good to get that extra help. So yeah, I'm looking at Dean Sewell right now. So make a note of that. He's meeting with that chair tomorrow. So we'll talk about that because we do have those workshops for the other courses, and yeah, good idea.
All right. Sounds great. If there's no last comments, we'll, for the students, there's a survey that we kind of had out. If y'all can please turn that into the blue box over here. With that being said, administration, I really appreciate y'all's time to come out and speak to the students. Seems like not many have concerns, so we'll reconsider, see what we need to do on next time. So we'll keep you all up to date. I appreciate y'all's time and participation. Anyone wants a second lunch, there's plenty there. And for administration too.